in the town of Lunenburg, and if you think that sounds German, well, you'd be right, because in the 18th century, hundreds of German and Swiss were imported here by the British government. So today there are places like East Berlin and New Germany, and restaurants like the Crispy Kraut. But that's not what brings tourists here. Lunenburg on Nova Scotia's South Shore is in the middle of one of the world's prettiest coastal drives. The Lighthouse Route stretches 300 kilometres from Yarmouth to Halifax, the provincial capital where cruise lines like Cunard and Princess Cruises pull up and offload their passengers. A half-day excursion along this achingly pretty coastline is a treat. But back to Lunenburg. Why is it so popular? It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's also important because for centuries, this was Canada's cod capital. You have to imagine this harbour packed with schooners. And if you've read the book or seen the movie of Kipling's Captains Courageous, well, you know the kind of vibe I'm talking about. A time when men and young boys set out to sea to fish the Grand Banks for months on end, not knowing if they'd make it back. The cod has long gone. The Canadian government declared a moratorium on the industry in 1992. Today, the sea brings forth other bounties. Two of the main products are scallops and mussels, both of which are produced at Indian Point Mussel Farm. Every July, there's a local mussel festival, which involves an old tradition dating back to the very founding of Nova Scotia. Back in the 17th century, the first European settlers smoked their mussels in pine needles. Back in the 17th century, when the French first came here, this was one of their staples. And I don't believe I'm doing this because between you and me, I hate mussels. But here goes. Actually, that's not bad. It's a little bit snotty, but it's not bad. If you have the time to spare, experience the Lighthouse Route on a boat trip. It's hugely popular with tourists. "20 minutes up the coast from Lunenburg is the stylish resort of Mahone Bay. The town is a scurry of seaside arts and crafts, the odd New Age outlet, and some one-off local fashion boutiques. Here's the classic picture postcard image of Mahone Bay. 3 churches in a row, 3 different denominations. The Anglican in cream and brown, the Lutheran and Trinity United in white. I think it deserves a picture. The highlight of the whole route and the most visited site is Peggy's Cove, with its pretty little lighthouse, one of the most photographed in the world. A guy called William R. McCaskill was the first to photograph this place in the 1920s, and since then it's become a Nova Scotian icon. As the tourist board says, it's the deserted boundary where land meets sea. The lighthouse has been a post office since 1972. It's currently closed because of lack of a postmaster.